He hadn't seen his parents in 15 years. Not a letter, not a call, nothing but silence. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video. So when Mark, barely 18, received news that his estranged father had passed and left behind an old trailer deep in the woods, he didn't know what to think. There was no explanation, just a key, a location, and a worn letter that read, "This is yours now." Standing alone among the trees, the trailer in front of him was rusted, forgotten, and sunken slightly into the earth like it had been waiting a long time. He had no idea what he was about to walk into, or how it would change everything he thought he knew about his life. With one cautious breath, Mark unlocked the trailer door. It creaked open like something out of a horror film. The smell hit him first, a pungent mix of mold, rot, and animal filth. Inside, the place was a wreck. Broken furniture, scattered papers, and something moving behind a cabinet door. That's when he heard the scratching. Mark froze. Was it a rat? A raccoon? The door began to shake, violently. He wanted to run, but curiosity got the better of him. He opened the cabinet slowly, and out burst a huge opossum, shrieking as it darted past him and into the woods. Mark stumbled backward, heart racing. But what he found next was far more shocking. Hidden behind where the creature had been nesting was an old notebook. Dusty, moldy, but his father's name was clearly etched across the front. His hands trembled as he opened it. At first it looked like a personal journal, but then, tucked between the pages, was a sealed letter addressed directly to him, and what it said made his knees buckle. His father wrote that both he and Mark's mother had never wanted to abandon him, but they were forced to disappear. Because staying would have put Mark in grave danger. That one sentence made Mark's world spin. What danger? What had happened? The letter didn't explain. It ended abruptly with a phone number and the words, "Call this the moment you read this." Mark stepped outside, notebook in one hand, phone in the other. The number stared back at him like a secret waiting to explode. He hesitated, but dialed. A woman answered after just one ring. Before he could speak, she said his name. Mark. Chills ran through him. How did she know? He asked who she was. She refused to give her name. Instead, her voice dropped to a whisper, as if someone might be listening. "Behind the trailer," she said. "There's a white garden chair. Start digging there." Mark's heart raced. "Why?" he asked. "What's buried out there?" She didn't answer. "Just dig. It's important." Then the line went dead. Part of him wanted to walk away, but something in his gut told him to trust her. With nothing but an old table leg, Mark started digging beneath the chair. About a foot down, he struck something hard, a rectangular object wrapped in plastic. He pulled it out, unwrapped it, and found a white binder, completely sealed. Inside? Dozens of old legal documents, financial records, strange transfers, and, at the very back, a photo. 5 men, all facing the camera. No names, just their faces. And they looked dangerous. Mark didn't understand what he had stumbled on, but he knew exactly who to call. He dialed the mystery woman again. She answered instantly. "You found it." "Yes," he whispered. And then she started to cry. "You have no idea what you've just done," she said. "You've changed everything." What she said next left Mark speechless. "My name is Judy Peterson. I'm your mother." Mark nearly dropped the phone, but that wasn't the only shock. "Your father, he's alive. He's here with me." Mark stood in stunned silence as the voice of a man, his father, came through the line. They told him everything, how they had been placed in witness protection after uncovering evidence against a powerful crime syndicate. They'd left him behind to keep him safe, And now that he had the binder, it was time to end it for good. But the truth came with one final warning. Do not take it to the downtown police. Mark stood motionless in the forest, binder clutched tightly in his hands, heart pounding like a drum. His parents, alive, in hiding. And now, after 15 years of silence, they were trusting him with something that could dismantle a criminal empire. But they were also very clear. Don't go to the downtown police. Why? Because the very people they had turned to before, those meant to protect, might have already been compromised. We went to the police once, his mother told him. It was the biggest mistake of our lives. She explained everything. Years ago, Mark's father, Henry, was working as an accountant for what he thought was a legitimate firm. But buried deep in the numbers, he uncovered large-scale fraud, shell companies, and secret accounts connected to a powerful criminal network. At first, he thought he'd report it, do the right thing. But the second they spoke to law enforcement, everything unraveled. Their house was broken into. Files were stolen. Threatening notes appeared on their doorstep. And most terrifying of all, their police contact warned them quietly. They're watching everything, even inside the department. That's when a trusted friend secretly placed them into witness protection, off the books. No one knew where they were, not even their own son. We buried the evidence near the trailer, Judy explained, waiting for the right time and for the right person. That person was Mark. His mother's voice trembled. We're so sorry for leaving you, but we couldn't let them use you to get to us. Mark wiped away tears. I understand now. I do. We need your help, she continued. That binder, it has everything. Names, wire transfers, the photo of the 5 men leading it all, and one of those men is a police chief. That's why you can't go downtown. Mark nodded slowly, even though they couldn't see him. He knew what he had to do. He drove 2 towns over to a different precinct, one his mother said had no ties to the original case. When he arrived, binder in hand, he requested to speak with the commanding officer. Inside a secure interview room, Mark explained everything. The mysterious trailer, the hidden binder, his parents' story. Then he laid the evidence on the table. At first, the officers were skeptical, but as they flipped through the documents and saw the photo, their expressions changed. One officer leaned forward, pointing at the image. That's Chief Barrett from North County. What the hell is he doing in this? Mark's gut twisted. His mother had been right. We'll need to verify everything, the officer said. But if this is what it looks like, you just blew open a case we've been circling for over a decade. They told Mark to go home and stay quiet, that they'd be in touch. The investigation was moving now, fast and with urgency. The next morning, the doorbell rang. Mark opened it to find 2 uniformed officers standing in front of him, and behind them, stepping out of a black SUV, his parents. His heart nearly stopped. It had been 15 years, but somehow he recognized them instantly. His mother's eyes filled with tears as she rushed forward, arms open wide. His father followed close behind, quieter, but just as emotional. The 3 of them embraced on the front porch, holding each other like they were never going to let go again. The officers confirmed that, thanks to Mark's discovery, they had arrested all 5 men in the photograph, including the police chief. The evidence was irrefutable. The network had collapsed. And now, for the first time in over a decade, Mark's family could finally live in peace.